little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Hey guys, welcome to Shine On with Shannon. Hey guys, so Shannon Shine here, and I'm super excited to be getting this podcast rolling again. I've been really wanting to record podcasts and make videos and really just get my content rolling. And I have been putting it off, and I've been wondering why I've been putting it off. And I think part of it has been that I've just been putting way too much stress and high standards on myself. And there's been this block, and I just want to be able to speak freely. And I've been building up this brand, so to say, for lack of a better term, that is me, as in Shannon Shine, Shantastic Shine, whatever it is you want to call it. And though it's very authentic, I also feel like I sometimes have to just know so much to be able to offer you guys anything of substance. And the more I go out on tour, the more I communicate with clients and meet with all of you, I've realized that it's been a fear-based instinct that has been channeled to me through lifetimes, and especially through relationships in this lifetime. Which brings me to a good topic for today, and that's relationships that kill your power, even when you're not in them. So that being said, I'm going to be taking this podcast to a whole new level. I'm going to just start talking freely about topics that are of interest of me. I'm sure there will be many that are spiritually based, others that are artistic based, and some that are just like worldly topics that need to be spoken on so that we all don't feel crazy and we know that we're in this life together and we're working on things together. So back to my topic for today, relationships that kill your power. So I have been friends with people who have watched me go through my spiritual journey. And for so long, I felt like the weird one. I felt like I was having all these experiences that nobody else was having. And I just wanted other people around me to connect. So I had a boyfriend at the time. It's now an ex. Obviously, many of you that follow my story now know that I am with Suleiman. He is an amazing meditation coach, super spiritual, super on point, best partner I could have ever manifested. That's a story for a different day. But back to relationships that kill our power. So also on topic, kind of, is that in the Bring Me to Life challenge, which this podcast has been based around before, the last month, which was September, which I totally skipped, sorry guys, was about getting organized and educating ourselves. And I think I really did that. I got myself organized in a way that I'm back, I'm here, I'm showing up, I've got my calendar in front of me, it's already jam-packed full, all of that fun stuff. So I spent September kind of doing some self-care and some reorganizing, even though I was on the road basically since the end of June. It's been a crazy summer tour. I'm super excited to be back in the studio, super excited to be creating content for all of you again. But as I've been doing this, I've been doing a lot of rediscovery, kind of just going back into my personal programming and wondering how I became a little self-conscious about sharing my point of views. And I realized it's from those relationships that kill your power. It's from those people that make you feel silly, stupid, not enough, not educated, crazy for having such a belief system. And I just want to throw all that out the window and just tell you, if you're here listening right now, that you are awesome. If you don't have the same belief system as me, that is totally okay. I am welcoming you here to believe in whatever you want, but listen to me babble about topics that bring me joy and bring people that I have been calling into my life that also appreciate these topics joy. So if you don't like it, you don't have to listen. That's fine. I'm sorry if you were like, man, I really liked her kind of angelic spiritual persona better. But it's part of me coming out of the spiritual closet and saying, I'm a normal person. And I think it's important for us to be our authentic selves. Going through this past relationship, I was with a boyfriend who totally did not allow me to be my authentic self. And like looking at the behaviors that I processed through that 3+ year relationship, and even going further back into connections with my family, who I love my family, just many of us have very different viewpoints. You'll probably start hearing me talk about more of my personal upbringing in future podcasts, because that's a part of me coming out of the spiritual closet and the life closet, so that you all know that we experience these traumatic events together, maybe in different ways. But I want people out there to know that you guys are not alone. There is crazy things happening in everybody's life. And the more clients and people I work with, the more I realize that basically everybody's family is crazy in some way. And if you think that yours isn't, then either one, you're really lucky, or two, you are still processing through the trauma and have been brainwashed into thinking your family's perfect, which is fine. That's fine. And if there are perfect families out there, I am super proud of you. Thank you for living up to the human standard. That's what we need more of in the world. But if you're somebody who is struggling, or you are just concerned that you're making mistakes, I want you to know that life is about mistakes, and spirit is here to guide us, but it's also here to remind us that the reason we have incarnated here in the physical world is so that we can make mistakes. One of my mistakes that pushed me into being a better person and made me who I am today was this relationship. My past relationship, not my current relationship. Current relationship, awesome. Previous relationship that I'm about to speak on, totally insane. It killed my power. So leave me a comment if you're somebody, whether you're a guy or a girl, that has dated somebody that just completely took your power away. And by that, I mean they didn't let you have your own thoughts. Maybe they really were not into your personal spiritual connection. They told you what to do, who to be friends with, what you could eat, any of those things. That is taking your power away. And I've just looked back into my life, and I'm realizing how many times I gave that power away. And sometimes I also gave it away to my ego, which is another relationship that can kill your power. If you allow your ego to take over your life. Well, mine was a combination of both. I was with this guy at first. It was really great. We were good friends. We both really liked photography. We both really liked music. We thought everything was going to work out. Fast forward about a year in, and narcissistic behavior started happening. I'm going to do my best to not mention names. We're just going to call this the ex that changed everything. And really focus on the fact that it was a lesson for me to learn how to be who I am. When you're in a relationship that kills your power, you are allowing this person to dictate your life. In the relationship I was in, the gentleman, that's being really nice, the guy I was with, was telling me that crystals were fake, that crystals didn't have any purpose, that I was wasting my money and my time and my energy. And you know what? For a lot of people, crystals probably are fake. They don't work. And that's totally okay. For me, they have done so much for me. And I may later in life come out and realize that like it was mostly me doing those things, but I've used crystals as a tool. Crystals have been a way for me to focus my energy for many years now. And I use that focus to help change and reprogram my thoughts. But I started getting into him again when I was in this relationship, and he started hiding my crystals. And I was like, what? If they don't work, what's the point in hiding them? Like, are you afraid of them? That didn't make sense to me. So then it moved forward to I wasn't allowed to believe in spirit guides. Well, first of all, I've had spirit guides since I was a child. That's a podcast I'm hoping to do in the near future. I've talked to imaginary friends that weren't imaginary friends. I called them Michael and Raphael, and go figure, now I'm in this spiritual place where people are talking about Archangel Michael and Archangel Raphael. People probably thought I was talking to Ninja Turtles. They probably thought I was straight up crazy. But to me, these were energies, and they still are entities that I talk to. And I didn't know when I was 3, 4, 5, whatever, that I was talking to archangels. I was just talking to the energy around me. And I had carried this ability throughout my life because even though my family, which is another relationship that killed my power, tried to tell me that they weren't real and that I didn't have abilities to talk to spirit, I had to kind of push through all of that because it's what helped me ground. It's what helped me feel like a better person. And it still does. Like I can connect and I hear messages from spirit that aren't my voice. They aren't anybody's voice that I know in the physical. It's not even necessarily a voice. It's almost more of just like an internal download. And this is where things are going to start kind of sounding crazy because I enjoy putting it into angelistic terms, but it's also like there's these programs, there's downloads. Sometimes I even go into alien discussion. That's again, different day. But I'm done hiding and sugarcoating the things. I want to talk about them in a way that feels comfortable and that feels realistic to me. So I started talking to spirit again after my teenage years. I kind of pushed it to the side for a little bit. Like I said, my family was telling me that it was just a coping mechanism. I had lost all these people, but for me, it's so real. And for so many people that I've worked with, I've met, I've discussed this with, it's real for them also. And if it's not real for you, I'm sorry. Maybe this isn't the podcast or place for you. But I started talking to Archangel Michael and I was asking for protection. I was asking for guidance and I kept getting the message, this guy isn't for you. Why are you doing this? And my response was always, I think I'm helping. I think I'm healing. I want to see him be the best version of himself he can be. Well, when relationships are killing your power, something that you have to remember is it's not your job to fix everybody, especially your partner. If your partner feels broken, you're not this magic super glue that can put all the pieces back together. That is something your partner has to do. That's something that your parents have to do for themselves. It's something that people have to do for themselves. You can be there and you can hold space, but when that person starts controlling your life, if you have the ability to run away, it's the best thing you can do is just to like get out of that situation. I allowed this person to not only tell me I couldn't talk to my spirit guides, but he took over my closet, started telling me the clothes I could and couldn't wear, started calling me fat, started telling me my friends hated me, that people didn't like me, all of this crazy narcissistic nonsense. And now I'm like going on 4 years into a positive relationship with Silaman. And people are probably like, why are you dwelling on this past relationship? Well, I think that it's important to bring this up because it killed my power so much that even in this day, 4 years into a beautiful relationship, 5 years out of that relationship, and so on, and just trying to claim my power back has still been such a reprogramming process. For those of you who are like, what the heck does she mean by reprogramming? We as humans are programs. We have programs that are ingrained in us from birth, through our upbringing, through our whole lives. We start these programs and these restrictions upon ourselves. We tell ourselves how to be, how to act, and it comes from past trauma and experiences, the way people talk to us, and it's hard to break and reprogram. In the spiritual world, though, that's what kind of spirituality has become this day and age, is to reprogram your brain so that you can allow yourself to feel free again, to feel loved again, to feel powerful again. It is so important to claim your power back. How do you do this, you ask? Well, first of all, you tell everybody that's telling you who, what, how to be to take a step back, that you are your own being and you are allowed to make your own decisions. You have manifested in the physical world to make your own decisions. You have free will. If you believe in a God, an almighty, the universe, whatever, yes, there is a certain path of destiny. There are right and wrong. But when it comes down to it, There should not be a partner, a mother, a father, a brother, or a sister, or a friend, what the heck ever, telling you who you are. I give you permission, however, to tell all of them, again, to step back. If you don't want to take my word for it, that's fine. I hope you take your own word for it. Take your own permission and do your own reprogramming on your own time. Because by that person telling me I was stupid for years, telling me I was uneducated, that I was ugly, fat, that no one liked me, I took all that to heart. It took me years. I just watched a video that I did talking about spirit guides like 4 years ago, back when I first got with Suleiman, and I was so shy and timid and scared, and you could tell that I had tried really hard to probably like do my makeup and my hair because I was under so much pressure. I was still trying to refigure out who I was after that really traumatic relationship and put myself back together. And I realized that there's even times now where I'm like, oh, I can't share that with the public. They'll think I'm crazy. And that's why I'm here, like, breaking that stigma. I'm ready to show up and just share my 2 cents and to remind you that the relationship with yourself and your greater spirit, whether that's your higher self, God, whatever your belief system is the most important relationship you can have. It's time to drop the ego. It's time to drop the perception that others have of you. It's time to stop worrying about what other people think, especially that ex that ruined your life and just made you think that you were worthless. Like, you are not worthless. If you are listening to this, you found your way here. Spirit has guided you here to hear my voice, to remember how truly powerful you are. I'm going to say that again. I want you to remember how powerful you are. Yes, we all have moments where we feel crazy. Yes, we all have moments where we feel unloved. Going through my process, the times that I felt the most unloved and the most ridiculous are the times that I've been my most authentic, and I've been shown by spirit, by my community that does love me, by people that have been there to support me and cheer me on, even when no one else that I wanted to would cheer me on. People have reminded me how powerful I am, how beautiful I am, how much my voice matters. And that is a powerful, amazing thing that I'm so grateful for. There were times in this relationship where I could see Great Spirit try to save me, and the dark spirit, for a lack of a better term, try to keep me in. I could see a flicker in this person's eyes, and I know it wasn't him. It wasn't even him that was trying to hurt me. It was the dark energy. And yeah, you might be like, oh, dark energy, now she's getting crazy. There was a darker entity that surrounded his soul. When it was truly him in the beginning, he was a different person. Something in my programming went back to when I was a child or whatever, whenever, past life, whatever you want to dive into, and said, you're not good enough. So we're going to channel it through this person and make you really feel not good enough. Because if you feel not good enough, you won't share your words, you won't share your story, you won't reach out to others, and you won't be this light that you are supposed to be. And for years, I didn't. For years, I didn't use my voice. For years, I was scared. This happens to me now, too. This happens to me when I'm here right now recording. I'm like, man, maybe I shouldn't post this. Hopefully you're listening to it, and I have posted it because I have all these topics in front of me, like what is energy? How do I connect with spirit guides? Basic energy healing, the power of law of attraction, all these fun things that people have asked me about, and I've put them on the back burner because there was still this voice in my mind. And it sounds like my ex. I would love to shake this voice. And it's just like, you're not good enough. You don't know what you're talking about. But when I'm in my most powerful, when I'm feeling my most genuine, I feel like I have a deeper connection to all of these topics. And then I have to remind myself, I don't need to know everything. Just like you don't need to know everything. It's important to speak and act and live from your heart. No one knows everything about spirit guides. No one knows everything about the law of attraction. Nobody knows everything about yoga or any of that because it's a part of spirit. It's a part of spirituality. And a part of that spirituality is taking what you do know and adding a little bit more to your spiritual toolkit each time. Each day, diving in a little deeper and finding your connection to spirit. But part of it is also letting go of that past programming. Letting go of what you thought you knew, what you thought you were, what other people may have thought of you, and what people may think of you if you become this powerful priestess or priest or just magical spiritual being that you are. It's time to stop being afraid. Something else that I have talked about in person but have been afraid to kind of put on my podcast and such is like my deeper connection to like feeling like an alien and feeling like I don't necessarily belong here. I was scared for a long time that people might think that I was crazy. And what I'm finding the more I talk to my community and people that have reached out to me is this is a very common feeling. I've looked into the starseed phenomenon, the indigo ray, the crystal kids, the indigo kids, the rainbow kids, all of that. A lot of that really resonates with me. So I'll probably do some podcasts in the future with those topics as well. But when I was in this relationship, I kept telling this guy, like, I feel like I am having aliens kind of come into my dreams. I feel like there's this darker energy around you. I want you to know that you're loved, but I can't process what's happening to me right now. And that made him really mad. And he started projecting and basically taking my power away even more. I wasn't allowed to talk to my friends because he was afraid that I was going to tell them that I thought he was like an evil alien. Who knows what he thought I was going to tell them, but I wasn't allowed to really talk to my friends. He tried to keep me from my family, and it wasn't really until my grandmother started passing away that I was finally able to kind of break free of this energy and put myself back on my spiritual path, which brought me to manifesting and diving deeper into like law of attraction and all of that fun stuff that brought me to Suleiman and being here with you on my podcast, the Bring Me to Life podcast, and being a spiritual teacher. So all of that being said, what's my point here? My point is that I love being a angelic practitioner, a spiritual practitioner, teacher, guide, whatever. But there's also this energy to me that is like very kind of witchy, very kind of alien-y. And there's also been just a lot of fear-based programming that I'm ready to drop. I'm ready to stop being afraid of who I am. And I am welcoming you all to be authentic in who you are. And if you enjoy this side of me that's just being very blunt and open, I am excited to connect with you on deeper levels. I do want to talk about like what energy is and how to connect deeper with spirit and angels and even like alien-esque type energy. People ask me about the fae and fairies and dreams. And for a long time, I was afraid to speak on these topics because I was like, man, if I tell people what I really think about these situations or these topics or how I connect deeper, they're going to think I'm crazy because he told me I was crazy. He told me none of it was real. He, she, they, them, it, whatever, whoever's told me. It wasn't just this ex-boyfriend. It's been many people. And it was just a judgment fear-based issue that I caused for myself. And this is me claiming my power back and coming out of the spiritual closet of, I'm weird. People think I'm strange. That's okay. I talk to ghosts. I talk to dead people. Like I said, I've had aliens. I feel like that attack me in my dreams. And you know what? I'm really becoming more proud of who I am each and every day. A lot of people probably think I'm very proud and I do my best to be humble, but really it's taken me a while to get into this path and to really feel comfortable in who and what I am and how I progress in this community. So this is kind of just my little blab about claiming your power back, and also kind of my disclaimer that my podcast is going to be super authentic and super like down the earth. I'm hoping to have some guests where I talk a little bit about topics like this. Bring Me to Life podcast, we've had a lot of guests and we've talked about spiritual things, but I feel like this is now my place to shine on and also just get a little weird and dive into spirituality in a different way. If you want to hear me be a little bit more, I don't know, organized, angelic, tamed with my voice and vocals, throat chakra, you can check me out on Awakening with the Girls with my friend Breezy. We also took a little break with that through the summer. She's been moving. I've been on tour. We're hoping that now it's fall and we can dive back into these topics of entertainment. I don't know if that's a proper term. Yeah, so I'm just really looking forward to it. And thank you for listening to me blab and release that programming. And I hope that you have released that programming with me and are ready to show up in your authentic self. I want you to know that I plan on talking about the topics I mentioned and many more. And if you have other topics you want to hear me talk about, send them my way. I'm ready to accept this basically no BS form of spirituality into my life so that I can explain it to you without sugarcoating it. If you want something that's more angelic and sugar-coated, I have some other people that I can lead you to through Bring Me to Life's network and other people that I follow. But I'm ready to be me. I'm ready to just talk like I talk when you see me out in public. And yeah, it's time to show up. So I hope you've enjoyed this episode. I'm excited for you to check out the next one. And leave me a comment to know that you were here. Until next time, stay awake and shine on always. Bye. Thanks for shining on with us.